a way of life. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Just wanted to come on here to talk about the new moon in Scorpio on Sunday, the 27th. I'll talk a little bit about Scorpio and what it represents, and then I'll talk about the new moon energy. So, Scorpio rules the eighth house, it's ruled by the planet Pluto. It's closely related to sexual organs and all subject matters that are uncomfortable to talk about in social settings, like money, money owed to you, sexuality, and life and death. I did a really extensive video on Pluto going direct where I talk a lot about Scorpio and Pluto. Um, I'll put that link in the description box below. With that being said, let me talk about the new moon energy. We'll be invested in creating security during this new moon. Scorpio's changeable, fluid, transformational, profound energy. We'll have the Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mercury all in the sign of Scorpio. And then on the 24th, Mars moves into the sign of Scorpio. So we'll be vibrating in a very Scorpio kind of way. And once Mars moves into Scorpio, it'll be intense and we'll go deeper, or we'll be more intense about going deeper. Um, Scorpio has the symbol of the scorpion. It uses its stinger to get to the truth, like those detective movies when they're interrogating somebody and they're strategically using their words to get to the truth. That's one way, Scorpio uses its stinger to get to the truth. Or you have, with Pluto and Mars, you have, it's going to be more like, or it can be more like those war movies or spy movies where they have people who will cut your finger off or drown you to get to the truth. It's a lot more violent because Mars represents violence, war, military, aggression, and Pluto is destruction. It's about destruction. So that's more of the shadow side of Scorpio. Um, it's it transforms, it uncovers truths and secrets. Scorpio observes everyone closely. It governs power struggles, and control issues. So you could be feeling a lot of this in like your workplace, for instance, where you might have a boss who micromanages, and it'll be coming in really, really intense and aggressive, maybe even unfair kind of way, but to remember that this is not happening to you, it's happening for you, right? You may experience the shadow side of Scorpio. You either may be the one doing it or somebody will be doing it to you in a certain setting, depending on where this new moon falls in your chart, but it'll be in a way to get you to see, okay, now you understand why this isn't working for you, or oh, now I know why I don't need to be in that relationship anymore, or oh, I need new friends because, or my sexuality is this because, right? So you'll have certain things happen to you, for you in your life, to help you change, right? Or help you see the truth about something about yourself that you need to change, right? That is like the ultimate goal of this new moon. Um, Pluto eliminates everything that's gotten old. So things that no longer serve you are going to come up. And again, it could be in the shadow sense, right? It doesn't have to be, but it's going to come up in such a way that's going to help you see the truth in that, to help you change, to get rid of the old. Um, Pluto, Scorpio, and Mars intensifies everything. It's very passionate energy. So this could be coming in real strong. The best way to get you to change is for something to like really smack you right in the head so that you feel it, like you really get it, like you understand this can no longer work for me because at the very deepest desires that I have, I'm not happy, right? So we're trying to bring out the deepest desires to show, to bring happiness to us and what we really want to do. So it's aligning us with that energy, even if it means, it happens in a very Scorpio shadow kind of way. Um, Scorpio is emotional, sensitive. It feels everything. It's intuitive and it operates on instinct. And Mars is instinctual. It's good on going with your gut instincts. Um, so these energies are going to be heightened at this time. Everybody is going to be feeling this in some way, shape, or form. Um, Depending on where this new moon falls in their chart in their life, they're going to experience this somehow, some way. Um, so if you're not acting from, a place of high vibration, you're gonna get that Scorpio stinger, right, in a very shadowy kind of way. If you're not using this energy for the highest of yourself and other people, you're going to get the Scorpio stinger. On the other hand, if you're using this energy in a high vibrational way, you'll transform. Um, you'll express forgiveness, letting go, forgive and forget with ease at this time, right? You'll see people's point of view and you'll understand and you'll be like, okay, it's time for me to move on. Or you'll transform some kind of ideology or mindset or way of doing something. um, you'll see it in a different way, right? You'll just see it differently. You might necessarily not be so much about change, but change the way you think about it, or move within that same thing, to help you get to some kind of happiness. This is not so much about conforming or doing something in such a way where you're making it easier for someone else. This is not that. I'm going to show you right now. So I'm trying to be mindful of the words that I use. You will change in some kind of way. Um, but not, I don't want to use the word to kiss somebody's ass, but really, like that's how I feel. Like that's the message that's coming to me strongest. Like this is not about ass kissing. This is completely selfish, but in a very positive kind of way. You need to be this way in order to get to the destiny, your destiny, and what you're supposed to fulfill in this lifetime. The destiny that you are supposed to fulfill in this lifetime. Um, we also have the sun opposite Uranus. It's going to open you up to new ideas and allow flexibility um, for these new changes that are going to be coming to you. Um, you'll want to guard against like radical shifts, right? You still have to be strategic in some kind of way, being mindful not to be aggressive aggressive and impulsive to other people's reactions. um, You'll have the sun and moon opposite Uranus, which will bring a lot of opportunities to increase your freedom in some kind of way. I feel like this energy is mostly going to be related to entrepreneurs, people who are thinking about going back to school, changing your jobs, careers, right? Because um, I don't remember who the heck I was listening to, but I was listening to something in relation to work entrepreneurs and even people in different kinds of careers, right? As opposed to saying staying somewhere because it's safe, right? As an entrepreneur, I think the shift between letting go of a 9 to 5 where you have for sure income coming in is very scary, right? To make that jump from one thing to the next because you don't know where your money's going to come from. You don't know how secure it's going to be. And this is might be that kind of energy, right, where you have to make a choice but still be strategic, right? You want to make sure you have a plan. You want to make sure you have things in place, and not just doing it impulsively. Or for your career, even if it's about changing to a different, a higher position, right? It could be just as simple as a new job, but it's something with a risk that's going to scare you. Something about it being unknown, right? Or coming at unexpectedly to you, like you didn't have the time to plan, and this new job is giving you an offer, and maybe it's on the other side of town, and you have a strategic daily routine that you're used to going towards, and that's going to upset that routine, but it's going to be for the better, right? So you want to make sure you're planning around these things. As a career coach, just offering, if something like that is coming up for you, you do have like you can ask for like a 28 to 48 hour window and say, hey, thank you so much for this opportunity to take this position. I'm very interested. However, I have family. Can I have 24 to 48 hours to talk it over with my family to make sure this is going to work out best for us, right? So that is an option if something like that does come up. Just keeping that in mind, but it's important to think about these things, right? Because these are things that could happen. Um, so there will come from these opportunities are going to come from somebody else, because that's what an opposition represents. It's the um, it's coming from an outside impact, right, from somebody outside of yourself. The moon opposite Uranus is going to awaken, um, how do I want to, your deepest um, emotional truth, right? Because the moon is about your feelings and emotions. Um, you'll get a spark, like some kind of insight somehow, some way about um, some truths, emotional truths specifically, right? This is going to be maybe a little bit more internal than anything else. And Uranus and Taurus is going to shake up your core values. You'll feel like you're being calibrated in some kind of way, when it comes to what's most valuable in your life. And be open to receiving whatever it is that's coming to you, and how you're going to play that energy out. Take notes, write stuff down. If you have a voice recorder, being mindful of what's coming in and how you can relate that to your abundance and finances, because you don't want to lose out on these opportunities, right? Being flexible around things that appear to raise your abundance, right? Um, that's mostly what all of this energy is going to kind of represent. Really just being open but strategic, not making decisions on a whim, right? Is going to be the most important thing to keep in mind during this new moon. I hope this information was helpful. If you want a reading, you can inbox me at awayalife, LYFE 5 at gmail.com. Peace.